blanket ladder out of these 1x4 pieces of wood. It's gonna look like this. Stick around, let's have some fun. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure these two boards are even. Everything cut to length. We're gonna go ahead and stain it. We're gonna stain it now because then that way if the boards shrink, you won't see any areas that don't have any stain on it. We're gonna stain it with this stain right here. All right, you may be wondering first why I stained in a white shirt, but I promise I ain't getting on it. You also may be wondering why I stained first. Well, the answer to that is I don't really know. But when I did stain, as I was staining, I realized I probably shouldn't have stained first before sanding everything. But I was thinking that I was gonna have to do 2 coats anyways, because typically I've always had to do at least 2 coats. So I was just gonna stain, give a light sanding, and then stain again. For the most part, it came out good, but I do need to stain a little bit more on certain areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and sand everything. I will, and then I'll cut everything. And then once that's done, you'll get to see me putting it all together. Now that we got the angles for the top cut out, we're gonna go ahead, I already marked up where I want the rungs of the ladder to be. We're gonna start down here at the bottom, and the first mark is gonna be 19 inches in from the bottom, and then every subsequent mark is gonna be 15 inches. So there's gonna be four steps or rungs to the ladder, if you will. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and there's like a 5, I think that's a 5-inch gap from the top, very top, down here. So we're gonna go ahead and get those ladders, the steps of the ladders put in. Definitely an easy way to do this, but I'm gonna use this dowel to put holes in the wood where I have the marks at. And then what that's gonna do is that's gonna allow me to place the blades of the ladder. I'm gonna put a hole right here, and then I'm gonna put the blades of the ladder where it is that I want them. And then once that's done, I'm gonna pocket hole them in place, and then that way they'll be secure. I'm not gonna do, I could do probably two dowels. It's not a bad idea. Now I was gonna pocket hole the blades together, but what I decided to do is use this dowel because I kind of just don't want to use screws. So I'm using a dowel. I'm gonna drill 2 holes per each leg, and then I'm going to use the dowels to hold the leg. It's not going to need a lot of weight. You don't need a lot of weight on it because it's just for blankets. All right, so here's the dry fit for the first side. As you can see, it'll wobble because, you know, it's just sitting in there without any support. Obviously didn't do a horrible job at the dowels because everything fits securely without any real overlap. We will have to touch up some of this stain, obviously. So I made this and I looked up some plans online and everything. Pretty much everybody has you made like a square one. But I really like the way that this log worked. I used a draw knife to get the bark and everything off it and the sapwood off of it. And then I did a full mortise with some chisels that I bought online, and it wasn't the greatest one ever. As you can see, I didn't do the greatest job. I actually had to fill some mess ups here, and you can see as it dries and it's cracking just a little bit and I'll probably have to sand that down and then refill it once this whole thing fully dries. But gotta be honest with you, I absolutely love this thing. I did 2 separate angles, as you can see. I did 2 separate angles here. One for just my straight hammer blow, and the other one just for aesthetics, because I don't know why, I just like the way that it looks. It looks like this is the front and that's the back. I don't know. I love this thing. The handle, I just kind of sanded it down to where it feels nice in the hand. I absolutely love this thing. I find reasons to use it. And back to our regular scheduled project. It's kind of hard to get a level, accurate reading with one hand, and this thing isn't really cooperating, as you can kind of see. Just hold it up along the edge right here, and you can see that we're at level. So it's all clamped together. We're gonna let it sit overnight.